Information tonight resulting from our I-Team investigation into incidents at Rainbow Child Care Centers in northern Kentucky.
I-Team reporter Hillary Lake has learned that Rainbow Child Care Centers admits now that it misinformed parents about how many facilities are still under state sanctions and that the information we reported last night was correct. So Hillary, you're joining us now. What else have you learned from the state today?
Well, Rainbow sent a letter to parents in northern Kentucky last night claiming the state had lifted sanctions for 3 of the 6 facilities that were put under state sanction a few months ago. In a letter sent to parents today, managers admit they thought sanctions lasted for 90 days. After our story aired last night, Rainbow has clarified with the state that all 6 facilities do remain under sanctions.
Oh, you got a yellow one too.
Little hands explore their world with innocence, trusting those who care for them.
There's a cow.
But Katie Applegate's parents no longer trust the people they chose to keep her safe while they're at work.
It's horrifying. Like, it was terrible. Like, I never wanted to see anything bad happen to my kids.
Katie's dad, David, says his daughter was mistreated last fall by an employee at Rainbow Child Care Center on Old Taylor Mill Road.
Then we got a call from the social worker that was a follow-up, and she said that it was much worse than what we had originally been told.
A report from the Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services says an inspector viewed surveillance video from Katie's school of, quote, a staff person roughly pushing a toddler to her mat and placing a blanket over her body and head. David Applegate says that little girl was Katie.
Katie was laying down, and then they laid their leg across her body this way.
A similar incident involving another child at Rainbow Child Care Center in Edgewood a month earlier triggered the state investigation into Katie's school in Taylor Mill.
It's up to a year in jail, $500 fine.
Former Rainbow employee Ann Oganek is charged with abusing the other child in Edgewood. The criminal complaint says surveillance video shows her forcing a toddler onto a mat and holding him down with a blanket.
Because who knows how long this had been going on, who knows how long they had been doing this.
The state opened investigations into all 13 Rainbow Child Care Centers in northern Kentucky only after the daycare company reported the criminal case. Doug Hogan is a spokesman for the office that oversees daycare regulations.
The state actually had unannounced inspections at all those locations at the same time.
I reviewed every inspection report available on the state's website for all Rainbow facilities. One report shows medical staff told investigators there's a, quote, high likelihood a staff member at the Erlanger location broke a 2-year-old's wrist by, quote, forcefully dragging her body onto a cot. At the Crescent Springs location, investigators found a staff person currently under state investigation working with kids, even though that's not allowed.
Is there a systemic problem with Rainbow Child Care in northern Kentucky?
We have investigations that are ongoing at this point, but we think that they have taken action to eliminate some issues that may have been problems within specific daycare facilities.
Last week, the director of the Division of Regulated Child Care told me 6 facilities were currently under intermediate state sanctions. That means employees must complete more training and the state will do inspections more frequently.
It is a step that we take before we suspend a license or revoke in most circumstances.
At what point do you just say enough is enough and revoke a license?
We're the regulators. We are charged with assuring that facilities meet the minimum requirements.
I received a bunch of new documents just 2 days after that interview. They reveal the state started to revoke the license for the Edgewood location in October. The company appealed that decision and was allowed to keep it. The state said the company convinced them that it would do whatever it takes to make things right. The company now faces a $1,400 fine.
David Applegate's daughter no longer attends Rainbow Child Care in Taylor Mill. He says his family is sharing Katie's story as a warning to other parents.
What I expect when we send a kid to daycare is that they would just treat our kids the way they would treat their own kids.
A spokesman for the Department of Regulated Child Care tells me they have contacted the Rainbow manager who sent the letter out last night, and the state feels she made an honest mistake in telling parents 3 facilities were no longer under state sanction. The state has explained to Rainbow that the facilities will receive letters when the sanctions are officially lifted, and we'll continue to follow up on this story for you. Back to you.